Okay, guys, as promised, I am back. It is Camille Prosperity out of Savannah, Georgia, and you can find me everywhere over there at hellocamille.com. So definitely click that link, connect with me on all social media platforms that you're on. I want to know more about you because I'll be telling y'all so much about me. Also, do me a favor. As you come in, click like. It's totally free. It really helps me out a lot with the video. Click share if you want to share this information with anyone, and definitely subscribe to the channel so that when I go live, you will be notified, hopefully, if YouTube is not acting up. Let me know where you, regardless of whether you're live or a replay viewer, let me know where you're watching from. That's always fun. And we're going to go directly into the topic. So what I wanted to do, there's been a lot of questions. It's been a month. That's crazy. Time waits for no man, y'all. But it's been a month since I did the first wave of the Credit Crushers Mentorship. This was really a step outside of my comfort zone for me to meet with a group of people every single week at the same time, have something prepared in advance. Because a lot of times when I come on here, I'm just talking about whatever y'all want to talk about. There's nothing really too scripted or too planned, definitely not super formal. So hey, what's going on, everybody that's coming in? So the Credit Crushers Mentorship, like I said, it was out of my comfort zone, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the first round of students. I'm happy with what they've accomplished. We still have work to do. That information was just a jump off point. But there have been some testimonials, a lot of good stuff that have come out of it to pique you guys' curiosity who want to be a part of it too. And I will tell you this, the earlier you do something with me, the better, because as I do it more and more, oftentimes the price goes up. And a lot of times those first advantage perks go down. So currently, oh, is my thing acting up? Okay. Let me see something right quick. It looked like I kind of lost connection for a moment. That's strange. Hold on one second. Let me just double check something right quick, y'all. Okay. I think I'm okay. I think I did lose connection and then y'all are coming back in. So anywho, what was I saying? Oh yes, it's only one of me and it's more of you. So as the group of alumni, we'll call them, grows, I can't always offer the same things that I did when it was a smaller group. So I definitely want to make that clear. Let me just share the screen with you right quick though to show you what the agenda is week by week. Okay. So share screen. Oh, you know what? What we're about to see. Yes, it is. So, oh, you know what? I should have put it on the thing. So this is my actual presentation. Let's close this out so that you guys can see a little better and close this down. Week one, what we go over is why credit is important, because what I'm doing with this mentorship is I'm marrying. Why did I say that so funny? I'm combining credit and consumer protection stuff. Excuse me. It's like an intro to both, but it is not for just beginner people. What I saw was that a lot of people were trying to go straight into consumer protection enforcement without having a good foundation and understanding the fundamentals of the credit information. Likewise, there are a lot of people who somewhat know about credit, but really have not gone very, very deep down the rabbit hole. And oftentimes they're missing out on opportunities to enforce from a consumer protection standpoint because they simply don't know about it. So I wanted to marry the two, and that's what I've done in this mentorship. But in week one, what we focus more so is the foundations of credit. So we talk about why credit is important, the historical timeline of credit. Believe it or not, it's relatively new. We talk about the CRAs, that stands for credit reporting agencies. You guys refer to them as bureaus, but we shouldn't do that. We talk about the problem with Credit Karma. We go over Vantage versus FICO, what determines the credit score, super duper important. why credit scores are different between the three CRAs. If you ever pulled your FICO score, then you know Experian might report one number, TransUnion another, and Equifax a third. We cover FICO 10T. If you don't know about that, you really need to know. It's going to affect you greatly when it becomes more widely used, more popular. We go over some beginner laws and the CFPB, which stands for Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, there is homework every single week. So do not think that you are just going to come, kick up your heels, get your popcorn, and listen to me speak. No, you have to also do your part. Now, week two, week two, I didn't mean to stop the share completely. So let me go back to this. Oh, and pull up week two. Just so guys know. Week two was a heavy call. Ooh, it was so heavy. Because this is when we got into legalese, okay? And just want to give a disclaimer really quickly. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a paralegal. I'm not any of those things. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm simply a country girl in a country world talking. Sharing stories, some of which are my experiences, some of which are experiences of other people that I've worked with, and things of that nature, okay? I do not fix your credit. Your credit is not broken. You just don't understand your credit. But I give you the information for you to go do all of that. All right. Now, week two, what we covered was, can I do this? Yes, I can. Excuse me again, y'all. I had a long night. We cover the 5P methodology. If you don't know what that is, then when you take the mentorship, you will. We talk about negligence versus willful, the top three laws, which are the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and Truth in Lending Act. We also just touch on some other laws. We discuss documenting and recording the evidence. So crucial, so important. It does not matter what is true. It only matters what you can prove. And we've got to stop doing things like calling about this information that is so important in our lives on our lunch break while we're commuting home in the car, where we can't take notes, where we can't write down the name of the person with whom we've spoken to, the promises they've made, and where we can't record the call. And likewise, we also go over one versus two party states. Are you in a state where it is allowed that you can record the call without letting the other person know? Super duper important. You need to know that because it's going to play in how you interact during that conversation, right? Sorry about my alarm. We talk about regulatory agencies. Guys, you can't hold anybody accountable if you don't know who's supposed to be holding them accountable. You can't go tell mom or tell dad on them if you don't know who mom or dad is. So we discuss regulatory agencies, the difference between arbitration and litigation, and then consumer protection lawyers. Now, what was so special about wave one is that I actually had a young man, 26 years old. In the last 12 months, he has gotten over $60,000 in settlements. And if you do not, I'm hungry. If you do not know, settlement money is tax free. So imagine you being 26 years old and getting what would be considered a great annual salary just because you understand this information. And that gentleman came on and actually shared with the Wave One mentees his entire story. It was fascinating. It was fascinating because it wasn't I gotta stop saying it was not as simple as a lot of people online try to make it seem. He had people that told him no, he didn't have a case. He was on the phone with creditors, sending letters with creditors many, many times to get them to do right, and they wouldn't do right, which is why he got the court to make them compensate him for all of his hassle. Great story. Not only did he tell his story, but with the Wave One mentees, they got the opportunity to connect with him and to ask him questions. He stayed on the line until there were no more questions. That in of itself was an invaluable experience because they got to see that this is not theory. This is real. They got to hear from someone much younger than the majority of us, right? Who actually did it. And they had the opportunity to get him to dissect any part of the process that they wanted to. This is importance. This is the importance, y'all, of being a first mover. You never know what will happen. I did not announce to them that he was coming on because literally that's my buddy, that's my friend. And it was 15 minutes before class when he said, sure, I'll come talk to your mentees. So I was very, very happy for that. They were too. And it just was a huge spirit lifter. Not that we were down, but when everybody saw proof, like I said, I gotta stop saying like, but he actually showed each check from the 3 CRAs and the creditor. That's a lot of violations, y'all. Okay. He talked about the process of securing a consumer protection lawyer, because when you're going after the CRAs, you cannot arbitrate. So you have to litigate. And court is a totally different playing field. If you don't know about the rules of evidence and all their procedures, you could have a great case and get it thrown out on a technicality just because you don't understand the lay of the land. So yeah, it's just a lot that goes into this, so much more than most people would have you think. So speaking to someone who has actually done it is priceless. And that was week 2. Now, week 3, what we discuss, bam, bam. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Week 3 piggybacks off of week 2. So we got into the legalese in week 2, and that was because I had to set them up properly for week 3, which was disputing. And you're going to talk, you want to know whether you're disputing for the purpose of just a deletion, or you're disputing because you want the deletion and the dollars. That is going to really, I'm sorry, one of the mentees is messaging me now, but that's really going to play a role in how you do what you do. So as you can see, there's a lot of bullet points here for week 3. Disputing was a very intense week for us. This was a 2-hour session, and then we still had an hour of Q&A afterward. Shout out to the mentees for being engaged. But we talked about the most common accuracies. Again, what is your goal? Is it just to get a deletion? Do you need something done right away and you're not so much concerned about enforcing your rights and getting monetary compensation? Or do you want the deletion and the dollars if you've been violated? What are damages? What's the statute of limitations? How do you go about finding that out? Why is credit monitoring important? How do you clean up your contact information? Why should you? Why you should never dispute online? What does it mean for them to do an investigation? What about deletion versus suppression? What's the difference? Why you should know the difference? Many of you do not. That's why you guys are being fooled by some of these social media credit repair people, thinking that they did something and then finding out that something, that whatever they deleted was only suppressed, and then it comes back usually after you paid them and you can't get your money back, right? And now you're sitting there looking like Bobo the Fool because you thought it was deleted and it was only suppressed. We talk about the biggest myth. If you want to find out what that is, you need to join. We talk about, we just touch on Metro 2, why you should know about it, what it is, what it isn't, inquiries / permissible purpose, medical collections versus charge-offs. A lot of you think that they function the same. They don't. One, the dollar amount matters, and the other one, it does not. These are things you need to know. One counts more heavily than the other. These are things you need to know. Bankruptcies, evictions, repos, late payments, and how cease and desist function. Let me just do a temperature check right quick on StreamYard. All right, welcome everybody to the stream. All right, so that's week 3. And then with week 4, this was the last and final week. This is where we are putting everything together. So if I had to guess, if I had to put an order, weeks 1 and 4 are the easiest. 2 and 3 are the most intense. But you want to do things in this order. You have a lot of people that are trying to fix their credit, and they're getting new cards before they've even cleaned up. They're putting good stuff on top of bad. Okay? And that is, even if you get a credit card, trust me, you didn't get the most favorable interest rate. You didn't get the highest limit had you done things in the proper order. This is why it's important to tap in with someone who can show you the right way to do it. So week 4, what we talked about in building the credit report, the credit score, it's not just about putting good stuff on. It's about a certain way of doing things and really, really looking at what is each component so that you can maximize each area of your credit score. So we just recapped on week 1. What were those components? You see them listed here. And then we went one by one through each component and how to get all of the possible points for that component. That includes payment history, utilization, credit history, new credit/inquiries. We definitely talked about the shotgun method. I showed them how I don't just talk about this, I actually do this, pulled up my own credit report and showed them where I used the shotgun method, why that was important and what this means 2 years later after having used that method. We talked about credit mix and then some of the credit builder programs and there's others that I'm going to put in here for wave 2 because there are many, many more. And every day, guys, I am spending hours, literally hours, listening to replays, watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, doing so many things. So my information is constantly being updated, and likewise, so will the presentation. I'm happy with what we have so far. The mentees were too, but a little bit of stuff will be added for wave 2. Since that is the case, all of my wave 1 mentees, they know they can take wave 2 for free. And that is something I'm glad to offer. I'm glad to do. I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share now. But I'm glad to offer that. I'm glad to do it because there was actually one of the current mentees who said, I'm going to pay you again because I want to do this again. And I was able to tell her, girl, no, I will not even let you pay me again. That is not necessary. You guys that believed in me first and wanted to be a part, I made this mentorship back. Y'all are just, yeah, they have a special place in my heart. Not to say the other people don't. So if you like this and you want to be a part of it, we start wave 2 Wednesday, which is March 8th. So you need to move quickly. I will tell you how you can help. Really simple. You just go to low.com. And by the way, if you have done this already, but you haven't completed your payment, your seat is not secure. And I'm only going to let so many people in. So even if I invoiced you, if you haven't paid your invoice yet, you need to go ahead and do that because you don't have a seat until your seat is paid for. Not trying to be mean. It's just that, that's just how things go. So if you want to be a part of the Wave 2 mentorship, all you have to do is go to hellocamille.com, right? hellocamille.com. And then you click, right now it's the second from the top button. Excuse me. Ooh. I went to bed super duper late. But you click the Credit Crushers Mentorship form. And what that is going to do is open up a Google Drive form that you will complete in its entirety. Each question has a purpose and a reason. So please don't get frustrated. It's really simple, but I want to make sure that not only are you a good fit for me, but that I'm a good fit for you. That means there are some things that you guys want to know about that I don't teach. And if you put that on the form, I will be very direct in letting you know there's no reason for us to have a monetary exchange because I can't give you what you would be paying for. So that's it, guys. Basically, I want to be very clear and direct about what I do in the mentorship, how it can benefit you. And again, even if you do not want to work with me, I strongly encourage you to work with someone who knows more than you do. Otherwise, your efforts to fix your credit may be completely in vain because you could be doing it wrong. You could be hurting yourself instead of helping yourself. You could be paying something that you could be paying the wrong person for a debt that you owe, but they don't own. You could be missing out on thousands of dollars, literally, in violation money because you don't know how to enforce your rights. There's so many things that I could tell you to really, like, I should have eaten before I did this. There's so many things that I could tell you to convey to you how important it is that you tap into someone who knows more than you about this particular subject, but I think you get the point. Credit dictates so much of our life, and there are way too many people who know too little about it. We need to change that. And we need to do it not only for us, but we also need to do it for our children, for our family members, for our friends. I like it when my friends and my family members ask me certain things, and then I can do a Zoom with them, a screen share. We can pull stuff and dig in right there on the spot because I know what I'm doing. And I want you to do that for your family members and your friends as well. But you got to put yourself in position, and you got to know this information. You got to know that this knowledge. It is about so much more than just doing the snowball effect and paying off the largest debt first or the largest interest rate debt first. It goes deeper than that, fam. What's going on, Crystal Ford? Good evening to you too. How has your weekend been? Mine was much too short. I'm going to get off now. You hear me smacking, and I'm hungry. I'm hungry, and I'm still sleepy. But I want to cut these videos for you all because time is a ticking away. Whew, excuse me. And wave 2 will be starting in a few days. I'm very excited about it. Very excited about having the wave 1 mentees come back and be a part of wave 2 because they have that right. And very excited about still working with them. They got the information, and now we're activating it. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. You guys, please, please, please don't get your tax refunds and blow it on stuff to get you in more debt. Let's really start being serious, purposeful, and intentional about taking control of our finances, our credit, everything that falls in that section. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, like, share, subscribe. If you're interested in the Credit Crushers Mentorship, go on over to hellokimili.com. Fill out the Credit Crushers form. It's a Google form, and I will be with you shortly. Your seat is not secured until the money is in my hand. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.